Oh, is it working?
No.
Oh, hold on. No, it's on background. Ha! There we go.
I need to like pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah, you can do that. There's gonna be a weird delay. Hello, if there's anybody there.
Hello.
It shows that there's one on Rumble. One person. Oh no, that's just me.
I
It's
just got the
fine.
notification if that.
Okay. Yeah. Did
If
you
that
just get on to?
helps.
Are
Yeah.
you on there? Oh, so that was you that popped in. Can you do me a favor and can it? Is the audio coming through? I hate that I have to start streams like this. Does it work? Oh, hello. Hi. Oh, that's you. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Good. Perfect. Done and done. Well, hey there,
It works.
friendly, fun people, and I have Jacqueline here with me. She decided to hang out in the office with me while I sit here and ramble for 90 minutes.
Oh, I'm not gonna hang out for that whole time.
Oh, wow. All right. Thanks.
Maybe.
Oh, that's fine.
We'll see how it goes.
No, that's okay. Greetings. I'm glad you can hear me.
I have the chat over here too.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. I can see some stuff on there. So hey. Okay, so this is being recorded for posterity's sake as well, and the Kickstarter for Space Pew Pew is just about to finish up, and so I thought to myself, why don't I just get on a stream and act like an idiot for a while? So that's why I'm here.
Me too.
Yes, and you too. And she's like, I want to hang out and be an idiot too, so because I'm always in your videos, and you should be in mine too.
And I would just be watching from the other room. And
I know, right? Like you'd just be hanging out with the plants, and
yeah.
we still have a mouse to feed a snake.
Oh shoot, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that.
Me?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Well, if she's done,
She should be done.
yeah, you just dangle,
my
just
goodness.
dangle it by his
I
little
have my
feet.
PJ pants on.
It's fine. It's just you have pants on. Like you actually have pants on.
I don't know if I can do it. I've never done it before.
You can be fine. You just hold it out there. Okay. So listen, we have snakes. One of them's getting double fed today. She gets 2 little mice. She's already had one.
I'll go check her.
You can so do
I
this.
totally got sidetracked and forgot.
I know. This is what happens. She has ADHD and I just don't remember anything. So there's that. So anyway, hello, good people. If you're there, say hi in the chat and that kind of stuff. I am just here hanging out for the evening because the Space Pew Pew Kickstarter is about to draw to a close. And it has been a wild 2 weeks. And today we hit 400% funding, which is pretty epic. I'm actually going to bring it up real quick. There's 70 minutes to go. We've got 43 backers and we are at $2,073 raised on the Kickstarter. If you are one of my backers, thank you so much. I'm kind of blown away by all this, to be perfectly honest. You know, when Hillbilly approached me and was like, hey, let's do a Kickstarter for Space Pew Pew. And I'm like, all right, sure. Like I've never done a Kickstarter. Don't know what to expect. Don't know how anything works. I've been trying to like get a handle on it as we've gone, but it's been difficult. I am much better just churning out stupid stuff and designing things and everything else. Than I am like, you know, going in there and programming in the tiers and understanding how everything relates to each other. But I'm happy. A bunch of stuff got unlocked. Some really cool stuff got unlocked. I wonder if I can do a screen share real quick and see if that'll share it. Let's see if this works. It says it's being shared, so that's cool. Maybe it's got to be on one of these things. Aha! There we go. Look at this. I'm learning. But here is our Kickstarter page, and yeah, I mean, this is just really epic right here. I'm just kind of floored. 69 minutes to go. That's great. So anyway, yeah, we unlocked all kinds of stuff down here. Oh geez, let me go look. Yeah, see, we unlocked. Yeah, we just started. These goals just started tumbling as we went, and I was really happy with all of that. We hit the 2000. We unlocked the special collector's edition cover in paperback, and I'm going to show that to you as well. now that I know how to screen share, which is like pretty awesome. Let me bring it up. Do.
I did it.
This you did. Okay, good. She ate.
She took it.
Look
Ooh,
at that.
it was
See,
really
successful.
easy.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah, they do all the work. You don't have to eat the mouse.
She was very happy to have seconds.
I'm sure. So we unlocked. Let me see. Yeah, that one I can't quite figure out how to get on there. I think it would be that, but I don't know if it's going to show.
What you doing?
Well, I was trying to show the
the
space
collector's
Pew Pew
edition?
Pew cover that I could do.
I thought you could share your screen.
Yeah, but I think it's just a matter of like what it's actually opened in and all that. So if I go like that, and then I do this, and then I go to there, and then I say this, and then I say share, it should show it. However briefly. Here we go. Boom. Shared. And there.
Oh.
There it is. The epic I called it the Gen X Collector's Edition cover.
It's not just exclusive to Gen X.
No. It's just that's like kind of my sense of humor and how I grew up. So like I thought it was appropriate. Plus, I kind of went for the whole 80s vibe. Like I grew up watching movies that had this font in them and things like that. So you remember like things like War Games? Did you ever see War Games?
No.
Matthew Broderick, like global thermonuclear war and the whole thing? No? All right. So that was a really good one. We should watch that sometime. Cloak and Dagger, that was another really good 80s movie that I watched. It kind of had that sort of vibe. So we went with this whole okay, fine. We went with this whole wireframe sort of 80s look for it. And as soon as I designed this yesterday morning, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, I really want to I really need a book like that. So I'm glad we got over our goal. And I mean, it's just pretty epic all the way around. So once again, to the backers out there, thank you. Thank you very, very much. We unlocked really epic stuff. There's still time if you want to grab something as an add-on that you can. And we've got a couple seats for, I think, the weekend gaming session. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but we're basically going to play D&D all weekend. But it's going to be Space Pew Pew D&D. So I haven't played. I mean, shoot. Last time I played D&D was like 2nd edition, maybe, or D&D basic, like first.
You ever played?
It's been a long time. I know you're kind of missing out. I know you think it's too nerdy, but like it's nerdy.
I like role-playing games.
It's nerdy in the right way.
Yeah.
You have math dice, you have a character, but then like your character can die. It's like anything else. So it's super fun. And so there's that. We unlocked the audiobook. I have to record the audiobook. I mean, like I want to. I'm not saying I have to, like, oh, I have to, but like I'm going to be right back there. Right there. It's like in a little closet nook. And yeah, the cats are freaking out over there for some reason. Okay.
Tyrus.
And she probably just pooped.
She gets mad at Jefferson's room. I think
cats
she's trying to open the door.
Get the whole post-poo zoomies, like where they go to the litter box and they just start booking through, excited
about it.
I'm really glad humans don't do that. It would make like, it would make halftime at football games in the stadium really funny though. Like if everybody just like ran out of the bathroom all at once.
Came running back down the hallway.
Did she? Yeah, see, there you go. That's fine. Cats or snakes. We got everything going on here. So
yeah.
So the audiobook recording is going to be taking place. And yeah, there's just like a lot going on with this, but it's pretty awesome. And what's really cool is that a year ago, none of this existed, which is
when did you write Alex into Shiro?
Pretty wild. I wrote Alex. Okay, so Space Pew Pew came from a short story. I wrote it, I want to say almost 2 years ago now, probably about a year and a half.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, I want to say it was probably about 2 years ago that I wrote it, year and a half to 2 years. And yeah, and then shelved it and forgot about it for a while until it just sort of, it kept picking at my brain.
I didn't forget about it.
No, you love this story. Yeah.
story out of all the ones that you wrote.
Oh,
in that
for sure.
Time period, you wrote quite a few.
Yeah,
In that time period.
I had a couple going. I was kind of exploring writing horror short stories, which I actually did really have a fun time with. And then it's just not a genre that like I'm really into or can, like, I don't understand the horror genre in terms of like written word. And I never really liked Stephen King, so there's that. Don't judge me. It's fine. But also, like, he's just like a dork. So, like, I don't even.
I feel like Space Pew Pew, though, is a really great testament to, like, just don't stop writing. Because you were kind of in a period of time where you didn't know, like, what to work on. Like,
Yeah.
you felt stuck in your other projects. So
Oh,
you
for
were
sure.
like, I'm just going to write some short stories. And you were on that website. There were, like, contests and...
Right. Yeah, so the site was called Vocal, and
you had no idea at the time that it was going to end up
as a project. And I know,
Space
like,
Pew
we're
Pew.
here.
So I feel like that's just a really good thing for fellow authors to know and to see, that like you just don't stop writing. Like, even if you're feeling stuck on like a project, like just write something else.
Yeah, and also
something else.
Consider the fact that, like, well, I mean, I don't know about other authors. I'm going to bring KB on soon. I'm going to send him a link because I want to talk to him too. And toying with it. Yeah, that's why I drive in silence. Sometimes like, I know you can't do it. I am in a completely different world, and I'm totally busy when I'm driving and it's quiet. There's just a lot going on. So I'll do that by the time I sit down to write it. Like, I've already watched the movie, so to speak, like a few times, which is kind of weird, but like, that's just, again, you have to have a handle on your own creative process and like how this all works and all that stuff.
It reads that way, though. I think that's what people enjoy. That's what I enjoy most about your writing, personally.
Yeah.
It plays like a movie in my head. And I think that's why so many people like me with ADHD, dyslexia, are like, I was just in it. And I was able to focus on it and get it done a lot, read it a lot faster than other things.
Right. Well, and you enjoyed it, and you enjoyed the characters and like something funny and light, Yeah,
but I don't think about the fact that I'm reading. I'm just immersed in the world that you created, and I'm invested in what the characters are doing.
Right.
So I don't even realize that I'm reading a book. It's playing in my head more like a movie. I don't feel like I'm reading.
Right.
Which can be a tedious task for somebody with ADHD.
True.
Because sometimes my brain starts wandering, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm reading words on a paper, and then like I'm not actually.
You've read 2 paragraphs while you're thinking about reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So that doesn't happen with your writing. Like you're.
All right, let's see if this works. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I think you might need to enable your mic on there, if there's a thing.
This is what I see.
Getting my guy KB over. Yeah, no, that's just.
I think you might have went out for a second.
Well, I have it on auto, so if he jumps in, if you jump in, you jump in, and it's all good, man.
Sorry, I'm just looking at it on my phone over here.
Yep. I can kick you off, but we haven't even started yet. Oh, just being a little slow. That's all right. So yeah, when it pops in, you'll just have to enable your mic and video and all that. Oh, there we go. There he is. Can you hear me?
Hi.
So I think your microphone is disabled. You might have to enable your mic down there.
There we go.
Hey, there it is.
Sorry, I have a very excited 8-year-old distracting me.
That's okay.
Say hey, Piper.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Piper.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Go
You just
play.
hanging out? No, that's all right. You can keep her on stream too. That's fine.
It's a
She
family
got so
affair
excited.
tonight.
She's like, "You're going to be on YouTube?"
You're an influencer now, my man.
Oh no!
No, no, that's terrifying.
No, I don't even like to use that title.
Go play with Lavelle. I love you too.
I said I love you.
That's good, man. So how's it going?
It's going. I managed to get off work early tonight so I could be here, and
Epic.
you know, any way I can procrastinate actually working on my book.
Oh, that's all right too.
So in the process right now,
so I'm gonna do the thing that everybody does, where they're like, "All right, introduce yourself to everybody." So just like take a second and do that.
all right. Well, I'm KB Carlisle. I wrote the Book of Rose. I don't know if you can see it over here, but you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok soon under KB Carlisle.
Oh, you're gonna do dancing?
No, that little girl
like,
just left. Might do some dancing though.
Shake it. No, don't do that.
I might do the truffle shuffle occasionally. Yes, you can show them our kitty.
Oh yeah, no, we want to see cats. Yeah,
But no,
is it
my book actually started as bedtime stories for that one.
Oh, nice.
And I got injured at work and almost broke my back. And she's chasing a cat right now. I'm sorry.
No, that's
but
okay.
I got injured at work and almost broke my back. And I got really bored. So I just started writing. And then my father-in-law started dragging me to conventions. I met Chris. And look, there she is.
Oh my God, I see a cat like a
Not
cat
having a
paws
good-
Oh my
Let her
god.
covered in.
Don't
good.
make me go get one of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started dragging me to conventions, and you've seen me at conventions. All I do is run around and run my mouth. So I started talking book idea I had, and one thing led to another, and then it was published. And
Was it so?
there's another cat. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I love
Bring out like a big kitty parade. I like.
Has a lot of fans.
Oh,
but,
that's sweet.
Oh, cute.
Calico? Yeah.
Yeah, we found her under a coffee truck in our town.
Oh yeah.
And she literally ran up my leg and sat on my shoulder and refused to go anywhere until I brought her home. So
It's the what is it called? The cat distribution system?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to bring us some kittens, but it's just not happening.
It's not going on. I found a slug though, so like that's cool.
Yeah. Well, if you want, you know, our nah, I'm just kidding.
You need to airmail us some cats. Look, I'm into it. It's fine.
No, my grandson was just born and he has some breathing issues, so we're trying to rehome them now, unfortunately.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Piper's sad about it. We're sad about it, and got to do it.
For sure, man.
Hopefully, the 8-year-old distractions are done now. She's had her 15 seconds.
It's all good. So how is life after an Imagine Award?
Oh man, it's been insane. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of people reaching out, wanting me to do this, even though, you know,
Yep.
I've never done it before, as you can tell. But
It's
I
all
got
good,
I
man.
wouldn't have known.
projects. I actually that's why I have 3 things going right now. Doing some work with this with a buddy of mine. He runs a company called 9 Ravens, ironically, and
No.
I'm writing a trilogy for him. I have to finish the Emergent series for Woods Publishing still, and
Right.
I have a bunch of short stories that if I find somewhere I can submit them, that they might find a home. But
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
I distract an 8-year-old for a long time, and as soon as she passes out, I get my laptop out and I go to work.
Yeah. Are you a nighttime writer then?
Oh yeah. My
Yeah.
bedtime's about 5 a.m. So I wake her up, get her ready for school, and once she's on the bus, I go to sleep.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I've
Yeah.
worked third shift most of my life, so it's
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty much I sleep while everybody's at school and work, and my house is quiet.
You know, that's not so bad actually when you say it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then,
that's all right.
at night the world is quiet, so I don't have people, knocking on my door trying to sell me solar panels and stuff. And
Right. Right. Is this like a common occurrence?
yeah, it actually is. It happens at least once every other week. It's weird.
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, they're coming by. Oh, that's good. No, man, I was so happy for you at Imaginarium. That's really awesome. It's especially just seeing like, because we met at LibertyCon a couple years ago, and we had our author alley tables next to each other.
Right next to each other. Yeah, we traded books. I stole one of your poker chips.
Yeah. That's right. I know, it's so funny. People still talk about the poker chips, man. I don't
Dude,
know.
it was
That was the thing. I'll have to do it again sometime. Yeah, there's still a couple knocking around here. Like I try to keep like one or two of like every, I still like I have it. These are like my last 3 bookmarks, right? So like those are gone. I have to reorder a couple things and all that, but like it's just the way it is. I mean, are you doing any other conventions? Are you planning on anything for next year? Like what's on the slate for you?
LibertyCon and Imaginarium are
you doing again?
For sure, yeah. Nice. I was going to do DragonCon, but like I said, my grandson was just born. He's having some health issues, so
yeah.
Decided to stay home and help out.
For sure.
So DragonCon's off the table this year, but maybe next year. I don't know.
Maybe.
Money's looking like.
Like I hear DragonCon's like nuts. First of all, like
I want to go just for the experience, but I'm very much not a big crowd person.
Yeah, I could tell. I picked that out actually. Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I want to be able to say I went, and
right.
I'll go eventually. But no, LibertyCon, Steading Days, if it comes back, I'll go to that. But it got canceled this year, so. And just whatever opportunities present themselves that I'm able to pick up. My job is pretty generous with working around schedules for conventions.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I pretty much have 20 guaranteed sales every time I get a book out because everybody in my job will buy one. So.
You see, that's good. Hey, man, that's a good way to start too.
Oh yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome, man. And look, I really appreciate you for the Kickstarter support on Space Pew Pew and all that. I've got a lot of gratitude right now just because I didn't expect like all this kind of stuff to go on the way it did.
I wanted it to be successful, man. You were so passionate when you were telling me about it, and it seemed like something I would love to read. I was like, I want this to be as successful as possible. So
right. Yeah, and that's what it's like. And I think a lot of people too, like writers in particular, I won't say writers in particular. I will say writers on Twitter more than anywhere else. They almost see like being an author as competitive. No. in a weird way, like you write in the same genre, like there's just this weird kind of like, why are you having success or whatever? Like it's this strange dynamic that I see with a lot of them. But at the same time, like a lot of these authors are just, they don't know what they're doing. They're they write a book, they don't market anything, they don't set anything up, and then they have a book and literally nobody knows anything about them or anything. So like, where do you sell are you selling it to your mom? Like there needs to be more. Like you need to get to a convention, right? Have a table, get your books out there, talk to some people. Like you make your connections that way and everything else. So it's the same thing. Like when you see something, or even just supporting each other as authors, this is just something that's near and dear to me, is like any knowledge that I have for something that I've been through. And, as we talked about it, right. It's just like, I want to be able to help. Because if more people are reading, then more people are reading everything.
That's one of the things I enjoy talking to you about the most, is because I don't know how Rose had any kind of success, because I did zero marketing apart from LibertyCon and Facebook, and that was it. And it's just something I've never thought about. I tell everybody I got published on accident because I got drunk with the right person one day, and I wasn't prepared at all. Like I wasn't prepared for anybody to be interested in it. It was something I was doing as like a passion project for my kids. Like, here, I wrote this. It's your bedtime stories in book form.
For sure.
It's just snowballed. It's I mean, it kind of took a standstill last year. I had some serious health issues. I was blind for 2 months. That was fun.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, type 2
What the heck?
diabetes.
What had happened there?
It was type 2 diabetes the week before Thanksgiving. So that was the best time ever to say you can't eat this anymore.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
it took my second book a while to get out because, you know, it's hard to type when you can't see.
Well, for sure.
But Jim and I came out early May of this year. It's the second book in the Emergent series. I'm working on a series called the 12 Tomes right now for 9 Ravens, and just probably about 100 short stories that need to find a home.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. What's so like what's your preferred genre to like write? Like what do you enjoy writing the most?
I really enjoy writing just my own personal spin on fantasy. I like writing stuff about the gods, about ancient civilizations. You would have to look for it, but the Emergent series is based off of like Native American and Central American, you know, cryptids and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, nice.
There. And 12 Tomes is going to be Greek mythology mostly.
Right.
And I just like putting my own spin on classic magic, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I do enjoy writing horror and thrillers and stuff like that, but those haven't gone anywhere. That's more of a passion thing.
Right,
My
right,
first
right.
short story ever was called "The New Dog Is Crazy," and it was presented as a girl going through depression, you know, not wanting to leave her house and just hanging out with this dog that showed up, and it was actually the story of what happens to somebody's soul between dying and rebirth, and the whole experience of her being trapped in the house was her being pregnant, and then when it showed, you know, her being not pregnant, her mom being pregnant with her for her new life, and everybody that read it was like, you should get that published. I was like, no, that might be a little too crazy, but you know, who knows, it might find a home one day too.
You never know. Or it's just like, you know, as you start writing and you start putting more of this stuff out too, you know, always remember, like, you got a bunch of stories in your back pocket. You've got your own anthology ready to go.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like it's always good.
Got to find stories that have any kind of similar theme. You've talked to me. My brain's all over the place all the time. And my stories are like that. So
yeah, for sure. No, that I get. So just give me a little bit on like horror. What do you like about writing horror?
Oh, I as far back as I can remember, I love scaring people.
Yeah.
I won't tell any stories because I don't want any family members to come and, you know, murder me in my sleep. But I've had a kick out of scaring people since I learned how to walk. And
Nice.
And it's something fun. Like, people ask why I like horror, why I like watching these scary movies and reading these scary books. It's like the same reason I like comedy. Like, comedy makes you laugh. Horror's supposed to make you scared. If you're not scared, read it or watch it. That's not doing its job, you know?
Right.
And that's the two things I've always enjoyed doing, is making people laugh and scaring the crap out of them.
And scaring the crap out of them. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Ooh.
I know. Like, I always have to talk.
I mean, I am very into self-aware, fourth wall breaking stuff. So like, my go-to was always a Scream movie, and people judge me a lot for that, but I love Scream. And Halloween was a big one growing up, but we have Shudder, and sometimes I'll just pick a random movie and watch it just to, you know, get a new story, get a new experience. Because after you've seen a scary movie once, it's not scary anymore. Like,
when you kind of know what's coming.
Hard part about that one, or that genre, is once you know what's going to happen, it's not as effective. Right.
Do you like the gore stuff, or do you like the psychological stuff more?
I like the psychological stuff. My wife is gore all the way. It was actually our Valentine's Day tradition for a long time to go out and buy a bunch of snacks, get in our PJs, curl up in bed, and watch the latest Saw movie. So
it's fantastic.
And that's all her jam. And she was like, I didn't know you didn't like the gory stuff. I was like, I liked spending time with you.
Oh yeah.
So started with the, you know, psychological stuff, and
I just have to do it while this guy's head is exploding. That's all.
Yeah, I think the first one I got her to watch was Happy Death Day.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's crazy, but it's kind of like a horror version of Groundhog Day.
Okay.
But I got her watching that one, and then she's like, all right, you can pick the movies you watch more often. I was like, cool, that's a win.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I loved the first Saw. because to me, like that was pretty psychological, right?
Oh yeah.
That's the
You
third
know,
one.
when they start to get like, I don't remember the third one though.
It's the best one.
They just started to get all like, they just all meshed together, and it was just different ways for
They
somebody to
injected a
like.
dude with acid.
Yeah, that's just gross. Like,
And, like,
I don't know. The one with Samuel L. Jackson was the
was
last
one
one.
with Samuel.
I think that's Samuel Jackson. It's got Chris Tucker in it. It's called Spiral or something.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't know. Like I said, I watch them with her because she likes them, and
Yeah.
I kind of get them.
Yeah.
Unless
I
I'm
like
gonna
the
put
fight, like if you know, if I'm gonna sit down and watch something like, and I'm like, okay, like Lamageddon looks interesting, like I might give that a try, you know.
Oh,
Deathgasm.
and
Deathgasm, yeah.
that little terrorist that was in here a second ago, her favorite movies in the world are the Chucky movies. So
Really?
everybody's like, let your daughter watch Chucky. I was like, first of all, I didn't let her, but once
Yeah.
she got I couldn't stop her.
Right. I
and
mean,
she
look, like I grew
Megan,
up
that.
like as a kid, like here I am in the 80s, but like we were like that was like Freddy was out, and like, you know, Jason was out. Even freaking Gremlins like scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Scared me so much when I was
I
little.
know, like when he
Like,
started,
they smell
like
so cute.
when
I
he
wanna
was like
get-
screaming and they're popping out of him, I was just like, oh man, like that was
I was
like
scared of
intense for a
Christmas
kid.
tree, when I was a kid because of Gremlins.
What's that?
I wouldn't get near it.
Yeah. What's that?
I said I was scared of the Christmas tree as a kid because of Gremlins. I was not
Right.
going-
Or
And then-
oh shoot, no, Poltergeist. Like
Oh.
that was another one where I was like, man, like that movie was intense, you know. But here you are, like if you're a kid in the 80s, like the movie's on, your parents like they just sit you there, like, oh, okay, go ahead, watch Revenge of the Nerds, stuff that we would never do today with our kids, like with an
Right.
8-year-old, you know, because like 8-year-olds don't need to be knowing like all that stuff.
Oh no,
for
not
sure.
Revenge of the Nerds. No.
What's that?
I said not Revenge of the Nerds. No.
Look, man, there was I'll tell you what, I must have been like maybe 9 years old. I forget exactly when the first Police Academy movie came out, right? And my mom at the time forced my brother to take me to the theater on when he had a date with his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Drive-in movie theater. So they shoved me in the back seat and they covered me with blankets because they didn't want to pay the extra ticket, right? Because he wanted more popcorn and snacks. So we drive in. They're like, okay, 2 people to go. He gets out of the, we park at the thing in the drive-in, like towards the back. He puts a blanket on top of his car. He throws me on top of his car. He throws a bunch of snacks and stuff on top of the car. And he's like, I'm going to be in the car. Don't bother me. And he closes the door and I hear him lock, right? So he's in there with his girlfriend. I'm on the hood, like on the roof with a blanket and all the snacks. And I'm watching freaking Police Academy and I'm like 9, you know? So it's like, that's how I grew up though. Like that was a humor that was there. And what's really funny is that when you're a kid, a lot of those tend to just zoom right over your head. You know, a lot of the innuendo and everything else, like you don't really notice it.
And then watch it as an adult, and it's like, oh my god,
man, I was horrified. Like, what the hell? That happened with Goonies. I'm like, I didn't realize they cursed so much in that movie. Like they're constantly cursing.
Or even the old cartoons, like Rocko's Modern Life. I didn't understand how crazy that was until I grew up and watched it again. I was like, oh god, what if my parents didn't like me watching this?
Rocko's Modern Life.
But no, we went.
My mom hated Ren and Stimpy. She was like, "This is stupid. Don't watch it."
Loved Ren and
If
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy
It
came
is
on
so
the house,
weird.
my granddad would unplug the TV.
Really?
But
Oh yeah.
my wife and I used to go to the drive-in all the time back before where we used to live, and we went on one of our first dates after we got married was Paranormal Activity 2.
Okay.
And we'd never seen it before. She just watched the first one the night before with me, and literally climbed up the wall and stood on my head at the end because she got so scared. And then we go the next night to the drive-in, middle of the woods, out in the country, like an hour and a half from our house.
Right.
And watching Paranormal Activity 2. And I go to get us some snacks because she spilled our popcorn in her drink. And I was like, all right, I'll go get us some more. And one of the security officers came and held me, stopped me and made me stand right there. And another one went to our car to check on her because she was screaming and jumping around so much that they were like, are you okay? Is he doing anything to you? And she's like, he's protecting me in this scary movie.
That's
Good
fantastic.
story.
Oh shoot, man. No, that's good. Well, look, I mean, all these things, like all these experiences, these movies and everything else, they kind of form who we are, especially as authors. And like that, do you feel like that has shaped your writing to a degree?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, absolutely. You know, every story's been told, and we have to borrow and twist and,
Yep.
but put our own voice to it. And that's the important thing is, that I've learned through my writing journey is nobody can have your voice. I could tell you, you could send me Space Pew Pew. I could write my own version of it. It'd be two completely different books because
For
it's
sure.
your voice, my voice. Yours is probably better, but
No.
and it's just like my music. If you put my playlist on shuffle, it is crazy, and that's the same way I write. It just depends on the mood I'm in that day
Right.
and what I feel like writing. But if I could ever write like a supernatural horror with some fantasy elements, that would be my baby. Like, that's the book I want to write, but I want to do that one right, and I feel like
sure.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes they have to percolate in there for a bit, man, before you can get it out. Like you just got to give it a little bit of space. So Michelle mentioned, and hi, Michelle. A shocker when you're old and then you play the shows you used to like for your own kids, and then you realize, holy.
And you're like horrified. Right. You're like,
I know.
I didn't know this was in here.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Forget.
I played I played some Ren and Stimpy for my boys, and they were like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "This is the greatest show ever."
Right?
Like, what do you mean? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? But then we started watching Invader Zim, which I love, and they all loved. So like we were good. We were on the same page with that. But you see, I loved Invader Zim when the artist was doing a comic called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I first heard of him, and then got into that, and then I just loved his art style. But I mean, they're all things. It's all different, and it's just like you said, like that's what develops your distinctive voice to something. And then we can, I mean, shoot, just look at the trailer park stories, right? And it came from the trailer park, for instance. Like we're all given a prompt of like redneck horror. Mm-hmm. People approach it in very different ways, and it's just
I've tried to get in that one a few times. It hasn't been successful. I was too young adult, apparently.
Yes,
I was like, well, that's what I write. I guess I need to stretch out a little bit,
Just throw in some extra F words. You're gonna get right in there, man.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how it goes. Oh, that's pretty funny. Well, let's go. Well, what is the very next thing on the horizon for you, or what are you working on like right now?
Right now I am wrapping up the third book in the Emergent series.
Okay. Yep.
The working title is A Melody in the Mist. I don't know if that's what it's going to stay as or not. It just depends on how I feel when I finish the whole book.
Yep.
But that's coming out relatively soon. I don't have a date yet. I got to go back and clean it up, make sure it's good. And then after that, I'm going to be working on the first book of the 12 Tome series.
Right.
I'm writing a psychological thriller called Hazel. I don't know when that'll see the light of day, but it is one of the projects that's on the back burner when I get stuck in the melody book.
Right.
I work on Hazel.
Yep.
And that's what I got right now.
Nice.
I'm sure, like I said, I'll get bored one day and look up some short story contest or something and see what I can do there. But
yep,
I'm really trying to focus. My main focus is finishing the Emergent series, which if I don't, actually do some planning, it's going to wind up being more than 4 books.
All right. But, so that brings me to something I wanted to ask you. Are you plotter or are you pantser? I'm
very much pantser. I went to my first Liberty Con. I spoke to Richard Wayan, and he helped me through something I was stuck on the Book of Rose, and he calls them river crossings. Get your major plot points and then write to them. Like write to the first one. Don't worry about the second one until you get there. And that's just kind of what I do. I get a general idea of where I want the book to go.
Yep.
And then sometimes I have surprise characters that steal the show. Like I never even planned on Harlow being a character in the Rose book, but it happened, and now everybody's like, I want to know more about her. I want to know about Harlow. What happens with her? And I was like, well,
Right. Yeah.
okay, I'll give you more of that, but we got to finish the Rose story.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I'm gonna pop up a question here, Michelle. You're funny. Yeah, how'd you go from the caretaker to Space Pew Pew? Because that is actually like pretty on topic for sort of what we're talking about. So I don't know about you, KB, but for me, like I have to do. I can't sit on one project and one style and keep one project and one style going. For me, like my default is always humor. Like I have to put in the gags. Like I have to do it.
He can't help it.
It's hard for me to write something that's serious without putting in some kind of gag, or there's got to be something that just makes me like like snicker like on my own. You know, so what I'm ultimately hoping to do is be able to turn out a book. Yeah, and I haven't talked to you, KB, much about Caretaker, my first one, but that's urban fantasy. It's a bit more serious, a little psychological, and all that. It's back there somewhere, right?
let's say you mean this one.
There you go. That's the one.
I
Yeah.
put it for yours.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with it in the move.
I don't know
still have
what
a
I did
pile
with
of
anything.
I have my
in the
own
move.
shelf that's full of well, there's a whole bookcase in the living room, but I have my own shelf back here that is full of everybody that I met at conventions
Oh,
and that I
nice.
talked to in real life. That way I can
Yeah.
bring people to come over, but look, I know all these people.
That's good. No, but for me, it's like that switching back and forth, you know, like that writing something as goofy and ridiculous as Space Pew Pew that like makes me super happy. I can sit here and laugh, you know, as I'm doing it, and like come up with just like whatever the dumb as dirt idea that I have, I could probably throw in the book and like it's good. But if I'm writing something where like it really needs to be connected and it's more serious, it takes a different kind of mental energy to do a book like that, you know.
Jody, do you see my notebook for 12 Tomes over there? I'm the same way, and I
Yep.
have stories that connect, and it's very difficult for me.
Right.
And this is what my notes look like.
Oh goodness.
There we go. It's
Yep.
fun. It's a mess, but
Yep.
when I take my breaks, that's when I write my goofy stories. Most of my short stories are ridiculous. I have the Hop and Bobs, which was crazy, and then the one I'm working on that you inspired is called what did we call it? Saws. It's the name of the ship. It's the name of the ship is
Okay.
Saws. It's an acronym. It stands for straight as a wet noodle.
Nice.
Or straight as wet spaghetti. That's what it is. Straight as wet spaghetti.
Nice.
And I was just, running my mouth to my wife, and she snorted Pepsi out of her nose when I said that. I was like, that's the title of the ship. There we go.
Yep. Yeah. I know. I made mine the Sodally Tober. You know,
Totally
like
Tober.
the Sodally
The star of
Tober.
my story that I'm working on, just for fun, unless something actually comes of it. The main character's name is Captain Obvious. So
I love it. Yeah, that's good, man. One of the things we unlocked with the Kickstarter was like Hillbilly was determined. He's like, let's unlock anthology development. You know, so like let's try and put together stories that are space based and have that sort of ridiculous vibe to them. And I'm like, I think you're going to get more people interested in that than you might realize.
Oh, that's going to be the next version of Trailer Park.
Well, because a lot of us, a lot of people want to break out of it. It's easy to read. It's funny. It's like,
I have a hard time starting books because I'm like,
right.
It's going to take me so long to read it. But when it's a short story, I'm like, I could just read it really quick, and that's fine.
We got like, it's 10,000 words. Like your commitment is small.
I have to break them up. I read about 3 or 4 books at a time, and that's why it's like, what'd you think of my book? I'm like, let me try to put all those pieces together.
I don't know how you do it.
Right.
But,
that's good.
It's the same way with TV shows. I'm not binging one. I'm watching 4 or 5 at the same time, and then I'm like,
oh man,
that happened in Loki. That happened in
movie.
American Horror Story. I don't know where that came from.
Right. Yeah, like I'll do that to a degree too. Like there's, you know what, I'm bad with that when it comes to like video games, because I like to play video games and just chill out and everything. And so like like one moment I'm in something like Fallout, the next moment I'm just like No Man's Sky, where I'm just like in space and like hanging out on a planet by myself. Like there's just like
breeding alien species.
yeah, breeding alien species
We
together,
did
being
that
like
for like 4 days.
that was fun.
straight.
Yeah, I play
Great fun, yeah.
turn-based RPGs because I usually
Okay.
play those when I'm getting ready to go to bed. And
Yep.
I learned that if you fall asleep playing Call of Duty or Siege, people get mad at you. But if you fall asleep playing Pokemon, nobody cares. You wake
Nobody
up and oh, they're still waiting for me to tell them what to do.
Right. That's good. I had you know, that's funny.
Stuff like that.
There was I was playing Skyrim. This was like a couple of years ago. I still play it. Like it's one of my favorite games ever. I bought it on like a midnight launch at a GameStop in northern New Hampshire. So I was there at midnight. There was a line out the door. There was a dude in the back of his pickup truck with a horned Viking helmet and like a like a war horn, and like go like it was so bonkers. And I was playing it this one night, and like, you know, I'm getting tired, like my eyes are like I'm a little sleepy or whatever. And then like I wake up and my dude, like the controller fell down. The dude's just running, like my character's just running. There's like dragons chasing him, and he's like just like somewhere in the woods. And I'm like, where did I even start? Like, how long have I been asleep for? And like, how am I still alive? This guy's just running from dragons, and like nobody, like, it was fine. But that game is so glitchy, it doesn't even matter. So
Have you ever played it on the Alexa?
no.
That is an
Oh, actually, no, I
experience.
did. Were you ask it like what to do or something? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like turn based.
But
That's
no,
funny.
when Tears of the Kingdom came out, I got that and I fell asleep during like the tutorial part of the beginning. And when I woke back up, I was in the depths and I was like, what is this dark place where I can't see anything? I haven't unlocked any fast travel. I don't know how to get out of here.
Nice. That's fantastic. All right, man. So we just hit about the half hour away from the Space Pew Pew Kickstarter being over. So that's pretty cool. I just want to do a quick check and make sure that we are where we are. Yeah, post the link back up and everything like that. And I figured this is about where we're going to land, is at $2,073, which is really epic. Unlocked all sorts of cool stuff, and I got trading cards ready to go out to people and whatnot. With the new hillbilly card that's going to be in there with squirrels coming out of his head.
Oh yeah, I need to do that.
And all that. Yep. So on YouTube, Jacqueline just posted the link. If anybody is watching and wants to check it out, please check it out. Last couple minutes, but I'm just happy that I got that epic book cover unlocked.
Oh yeah,
that's the one that I want a copy of.
He was like, we're so close.
I know. I'm like I gotta
already made it.
I mean, it's the Gen X special edition, right?
Yeah, like I had to do something. I had to just 80s it up.
I'm a millennial, but I'm an elder, so I still appreciate the Gen X.
You know, yeah, no, you know where it is. Yeah, same there. You know where it is.
Yeah.
So hey, would you be down to just answer some pop quiz questions?
Sure.
All right, so we got a pile of like questions. I just figured like we're just hanging out. Like you're good on time, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, sure. Cheers. Yeah, your bedtime 5 a.m.
Work on one of my books.
I'll be asleep long before you are.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'll sleep in about 10 hours.
So I got these. I do. I don't know if you've ever done these. I've got these packs of cards that have questions.
Mhm.
This particular deck. I just want to get the box.
Mm.
This deck is the. I don't know if you can see it. It's called the Wordsmith.
Yes.
The Wordsmith deck, right? So, and it's like they're like, oh, it's designed for writer's block and stuff like that. But there's just like different coded topics of questions. You can write about them. They could be conversation things or whatever else. When I wrote, it wasn't this particular deck, but this book came from one of these cards.
Oh wow.
From a different deck that I had, and it was just one simple question that I ended up writing and then being like, well, that's kind of cool. Let me keep writing. And the next thing I knew, I had my debut novel. So, all right. So, question for you. What's the best career compliment you've ever received?
Does this count?
I was gonna say that's an excuse to show the
That's
award.
pretty good. Yeah. Bring down the Imagine Award for that one.
I forgot. I was.
But no,
a cake and they called your name. I was like, oh shoot.
The best compliment I ever got is it wasn't even really a compliment. It was just information. But The only thing I've ever seen my granddad read in my entire life is a trader paper or books on how to tear cars apart and put them back together.
Okay.
But my mom called me one day and she told me that he read the entire first book in like 2 days. And then he came to her house after Gemini came out and he saw her copy sitting on her coffee table and he just started he picked it up and started flipping through it and read the whole first chapter. And then he was like, "Is this Tony's new book?" And she was like, "Yeah." Because he doesn't know me as KB Carlisle. He just knows me as Tony.
Right.
But
right.
He started looking at it. He's like, "Can I take this home and read it?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." And then he brought it back the next day. He's like, "When's this third one coming out?" And I was like, "This man, he didn't watch anything except Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and Baywatch and never read a book in his life as far as I know. But the fact that he sat there and read mine that quickly, I was like, wow."
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. Look, if you're going to be stuck watching 3 TV shows too, that's not a bad choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all right. Man, that's really good.
What about you? You didn't answer.
I got a review from my mom on my book on Amazon.
That's my favorite.
She was like, "Honey, book is good." Like, my mom doesn't speak; she speaks broken English, right? So she's foreign, and she didn't even read it. So, but it was a pretty good compliment. I was like, "I'll take it." She left the review. I had to explain the first chapter to her like 5 times, and she still didn't understand what the hell was going on. It was really funny.
My grandma too. She tried to read it, and she was like, "It's scary."
Yeah,
like
she's like, "There's blood."
She reads Stephen King novels.
Well, like, come
Another
on.
great compliment I got from remember how I told you I want to write a horror story?
Yep.
Obviously, my wife reads every chapter as I write it, and we woke up one day and she looked at me and hit me, and I was like, "What? Did I cheat on you in your dream or something?" And she's like, "That character from your book gave me nightmares, and
nice.
I don't like it, but I need you to write more." And I was like, "Awesome, thank you."
Yep. No, it's a good one. Yeah, I think like when I think back at some of the things that people have replied to me and said, I've heard from a couple people that they read Caretaker for comfort, and that to me that really hits to something because like, I wrote it during a very difficult time. My brother just passed away, so to know that it hits somebody on that level is really cool to me. And I got a random anonymous email at one point, and the person said like, "Your book saved my life," and they didn't say anything else about it. And there was no contact information, no phone number. They didn't leave their email address or anything. They just wanted to send a note and say that. And that always stuck with me. Just like how many people do you affect that you don't hear from?
Yeah.
That stay quiet about it. And so, there's power in our words and what we do and the stories that we tell, because you tell them from an authentic perspective and it's a bit of you. So when that really resonates with somebody else, that's the sweet spot, man. That's pretty cool,
Well, I will give you another compliment you can carry with you, because I told you how I read books and watch TV shows. I read yours. I think it took me 2.5 days after LibertyCon.
Right.
And I didn't pick up any of the other books I got at LibertyCon until I finished yours, just because, like you said, our tables were right next to each other. We were talking. Right. I was like, I got to read this book, man. Like, he was cool. Like, and then I read every one of H.P. Hollow's that I picked up. I read all of Chris's.
Nice.
But I read all those at the same time. And I mean, not saying that they're bad or anything. They were all great. I loved them all. But I got more one-on-one time with you. So I was like, I want to read this book. And I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty awesome, man. I appreciate it.
That's why when I saw Miriam, I was like, yes, somebody I know is here.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I was saving that seat for you, man. I'm like, he's going to walk in here. He's going to look around. He's going to be nervous. I'm like, I just need to have a spot for the guy. I know what it's like.
And you got to be there when I won my first award.
I know. I was thrilled
and
for you.
By the time I got back to the table, everybody knew. Like, my wife and my mom told everybody. And I was like,
oh, yeah. Phones were up immediately. Yeah, for sure. That's really awesome. All right. So let me ask you another one. What's that? Oh, yeah. Let me get to this one real quick. Couldn't put your book down. I don't read very often. I got about 10 people to buy your book and they couldn't put it down either. I mean, look, thank you. And again, that's just a nice compliment to have. You know, I always appreciate that. And there's going to be more Caretaker coming. I've got it being republished with Three Ravens, with an extra 12 to 15,000 words on it to bridge to the next book, et cetera, et cetera. So right now it's
a copy is what you're saying.
What's that?
I said, so I got to get another copy is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, you're going to have to pay Hillbilly, man. That's how it goes.
I got you.
But yeah, right now I'm just I'm just Space Pew Pew on the brain all the time. And he's like, write book 2, like write it right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm just like, give me a second. But yes, yeah, I'll do that.
Write it while it's fresh in your head.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, it's like, I can't. It's pretty simple though. Like it's a straightforward enough story that like it's not hard to get lost. And I've already got book 2 pretty much, like I know where it starts, I know where it ends, and I know some of the shenanigans. So like I'm good. You know, like it's fine.
You got the bread, you just got to build the sandwich.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, so what did you want to be when you were growing up, and why?
Honestly, I wanted to be an author because I loved reading, and I never thought that would actually happen. Like I said, it happened by accident, not making a living off of it, but you know, it's something I've always wanted to do. And now it's just like, what's the next step? You know?
Right.
Like I used to go with my mom to work when she worked at Kmart, and I'd sit in the book aisle her entire shift and read books for free. And I was the nerd kid that hung out in the library. And the first thing I ever got published was actually in 2nd grade. I won a poetry contest.
Oh, nice.
I find that it was in the Atlanta Review sometime way back in the early 90s. So, but to me, that was like, cool. You could say you got published in 2nd grade.
Right.
2nd grade. Like, but no, I always wanted to do that. And, you know, apart from the stupid stuff that every boy in high school wants to do, like I wanted to be in a rock band and, you know, never wanted to be president. That didn't appeal to me at all. But no, I wanted to be in the military and I wanted to write. And I got to do both of those things. So, you know, now I just got to set new goals.
Yeah, exactly. And keep it going, man. You are literally living the dream.
Exactly.
Look at you go. Yeah. See, that's epic. Yeah, I always had that too. I always had that urge, like to write. That kind of came later on. Like at first I had to go through that whole era where I wanted to be in a rock band or be like an international spy, you know?
Yeah.
Like kind of James Bond type of thing. I was like, that'd be a really cool job. Like, how do I do that? They're like, no.
I did go through a phase where I wanted to be an animorph, but that just didn't seem realistic.
An animorph. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that was a thing. But yeah, I'd say like my writing bug hit early on too. You know, certainly through like high school and stuff like that. Where I started, like one of the first classes that I signed up for when I was a freshman in high school was a creative writing class. And still remember the professor. His name was Professor Hertzeg, and he was a pretty funny guy. And yeah, he was like, okay, we're gonna explore poetry for like a couple weeks and like read some poetry and then write a poem. I was not good at that. You know, and so then it was like, you know, try like short story and stories and stuff like that. And I did, like, I had a good time with it, but it was really after I got out of there that I started to experiment with like some of the character building and everything else. But then for me, a lot of my experience was online gaming. So, but it was all text based. So these are muds, mushes, and moos is what they're called.
Yeah.
So it's like just like almost like group chat rooms, but you have like there's coding involved. You have to do some programming to set up the room, and then people are just role playing scenarios, just like Dungeons and Dragons or whatever else, vampires and werewolves, stuff like that. And to be in there almost like a dungeon master, doing some storytelling, writing descriptions of the rooms and like the locations, like I really got bit by the bug at that point. And then I wrote my first short story at some point shortly after there. That was like a start to finish, done and edited. I still have a paper copy of it. It is really terrible. It's called Vampire in Wawa. So just like you've seen the movie Clerks, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's Clerks but with vampires.
Oh, that's awesome,
right?
Man.
Yeah, right. So like I ran with it, and I had a friend that gave me great feedback. It was like, holy crap, this was really funny, and I loved it. And like that was it. And then I just didn't write anything for years and years and years. So like it just always came back around and whatever else. But
I always used it in some form. I used to write, well, I still write D&D campaigns, and
do you? Yep.
yeah, I've helped a few people write songs and jingles and stuff like that, and
Nice.
I love coming up with characters. I never did, I never played the text-based games when I was younger, but right around 2015, we started playing D&D on Discord, and that was really fun. And I still jump in occasionally, but when you got a 24-hour D&D server, it's hard to get anything productive done because D&D, and you can anytime. Just depends on who's on.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I met playing those D&D games is the one that did the cover for Gemini. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, she sent me some pictures that she drew from Rose, and I asked her, I was like, hey, would you be interested in, reading Gemini and seeing if you come up with something for that? And she sent me like 10 pictures within a week. I was like, cool, let's go with this one.
Yeah. I want to.
We all do.
Why have I never read this?
All right, so look, I'm gonna have to find a way to dig it out and edit it first of all, because there's no way I can't show that to like anybody.
I have never read this.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's you know what?
Yeah.
It's better. Believe me, it's better in a shelf somewhere. Like just it's okay there.
My mom can't remember her Amazon password to leave me a review.
That's fantastic.
It's okay. You give me enough support on Facebook.
Do it as a guest. Do it as a guest. You're fine. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Oh, shoot, man. All right, so let's see. Another question. What career advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
Listen to Mr. Stafford.
Okay, who's Mr. Stafford?
Art teacher.
Okay.
See, in high school art and in English, I didn't have to do the actual assignments after a certain point because they were like, this is limiting what you do. You go do what you do and show it to me.
Nice.
And he actually is one of the main characters in the Rose series because that's how much of an impact he had on me. But go back to the original question. My memory sucks, and I'll say what brought him up.
No, it's all right. What
was the question?
What advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
Oh, yeah, that's just it. Listen to Mr. Stafford.
Listen to Mr. Stafford.
Mr. Stafford, if I would have listened to him, I would have been published 15 years earlier.
No kidding. Yeah.
No joke. He kept telling me to believe in myself, that I made amazing art, whether it was writing or whether it was painting or photography or whatever I wanted to do. And he's one of the very few people when I was younger that could actually make me believe in myself. I had people that were supportive, obviously, but he was one of the few that could actually get through to me.
Right.
And listen to him. Things will be good.
All right. Yeah, no, that's good. Shoot, man, Philip, you're really gonna make me drag that thing out. All right.
I'm gonna make you drag it out.
I'm gonna have to find it. It's lost in the move. Oh darn.
No.
Lost everything.
No,
look, to give you
one who brought it up.
To give you an idea, like I'm just saying, when my first try at poetry, I remember the first line of the first poem. I had to read this out loud in class in that first creative writing class when I was like 13 years old. And the first line was, I stepped on a lizard and outshot its gizzard. So I didn't really have it going on in terms of like the prose.
That's
at that
why
point.
we want to read it.
That's why you want to read it. Yeah. The Vampire Wawa story was like a little bit better. But yeah, that was really something.
That would have been a poem to call my attention. I love stuff where you have fun. So.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But I'd say, let's see, advice for my 16-year-old self. Oh man. Yeah, I probably would have told myself to listen. Yeah, I would say listen to yourself more than listening to some other people that were in my ear at the time.
Yeah.
I definitely made some mistakes coming out of high school and the choices that I made right after that. Just like career-wise mistakes. And so I went to school for court stenography. Should not have done that. You know, but
for graphic design, and you see how good I am at that. So.
oh, yeah, I know. And what's really funny about that too, like, because I've known people that have gone to like college for graphic design, and they're like, the thing is, like, literally everybody does graphic design right now. So like, there's not really much of a career arc for that. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that the big thing would just be like try and like have some confidence and tune out some of those other voices. I think that's mostly what I would advise for myself, because I think I would have been on a better track had I just listened to what was pulling me, as opposed to just, you know, trying to meet expectations of other people and things like that. But I mean, look, it's something that we all struggle with. What's that?
I said that's something I still struggle with now, is
Yep.
letting the voices get in my head. And
Yep.
I have a couple friends that, you know, are on standby that my wife will message them, and they will all be like, "Shut up, you're great." Right.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, the imposter syndrome. Woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. I gas you up all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but I don't listen to you anymore.
Can I help you?
That's good. If you're hanging out and watching, there's 8 minutes left on the Space Pew Pew Kickstarter.
Come on, you know you want to be the last one.
If there's a last minute thing you want to snag, now's the time.
Be that last one that makes us hit the next.
I know, right? If anybody has an extra $4,000 in their pocket and they just want to spend it in the next 7 minutes, that's totally fine. Yeah, I'm really happy with where this thing landed. So I'm good. Now it's the fun stuff. It's getting all this stuff in the hands of people, and then that moment where like all these books are going to go out, and I'm going to sit here, you know, trying not to be like, okay, everybody hates it. You know, so like I'll be all right. It's one of those times. Let me see what else. Let's do another question or two here, man. These are good. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. So give me we'll do like 2 or 3 of each, books and or movies that have made a profound impact on you.
The movie is definitely Good Will Hunting.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Always been, ever since the first time I saw it. This is my 3 Raven skull that we stole from LibertyCon.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
That's good.
Hyper. But no, Good Will Hunting is definitely
Yep.
a movie.
How about them apples?
This is one of the books.
Inkheart. Okay. Yep.
And a new one's about to come out, and I can't wait. Piper, put it down. And then, let's see. I got all this back here.
Oh, can I show them the sleeping dragon?
You can while I'm looking, sure.
Yeah. No. Show me the dragon. Let me see.
He's Mr. Sleepy Dragon.
Mr. Sleepy Dragon. Oh,
Yeah,
he does
every
look a
time I
little...
sit him down on the bookshelf, he's sleepy.
Oh, I see. He looks pretty tired. Yeah. Why do you think he's so tired?
Oh.
He doesn't sleep.
And,
I'm the same as that.
He was a misprint that can't stand up, so we keep him on the bookshelf so he can guard the hoard of books.
No, that's good. Yeah, I like it.
But Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I thought
Okay.
I had it behind me. It's not, but I just love the way Douglas Adams writes.
You guys see my spooter?
You're what?
My spider.
Oh, go get it. Hurry.
What's this?
He said spooter.
Oh, what's a spooter?
I was like, no.
That's
I'm
fantastic.
not sure.
But no, Hitchhiker's Guide is definitely like, if I need to, you know, Piper, if I need to get out of a
All
phone,
good.
I read Hitchhikers, and it
Yeah.
just makes me.
Nice.
Rawr.
That's her
Oh,
little.
that's a good. That's a good. That's a.
good spider.
Yep. Oh, nice. Yep. We love the squishy ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Let us finish this up, okay?
Yeah. No, those. I mean, that's good. Did you ever read Good Omens?
Good Omens, yes.
Yep.
I have it somewhere back here. I love Good
Yep.
Omens.
Yeah, that's another one. And that whole Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, like just the two of them together, that was a really good one for me. Like that, I remember that book really well.
The show was just amazing too, and the show actually got her trying to read Good Omens. So
oh, no kidding.
She's trying. She's still kind of new to chapter books, but she's really excited about it. She just got a whole series of something right for school. I can't remember the name of it. It's something about a cat or something. I don't know.
Right.
But it's like 5 books that are about that thick, and
nice.
She's actually going through them pretty good. So,
oh, nice. Yeah, my boys did. Oh man, what was the Amulet books? That one really got them going. Like the it's kind of like graphic novel, but like there's more writing in it. Yeah, those were pretty cool. They really absorbed those, and then like. I mean, I was always throwing books at them. So like Stick Dog and like all this other stuff, like just whatever funny ones, we could find. I'd say, for me, like I grew up reading Piers Anthony. So the Incarnations of Immortality series, which was just like really epic. The Xanth series, which like kind of scratched the whole fantasy itch for me. And then Robert Asprin was really big for me too. He had these books that it was the word myth was in every title. So it'd be like Sweet Mystery of Life or whatever. And it was just like about this guy and his dragon, but they were light, they were funny, they were fast reads. It was like a Saturday read, and it was like that whole like flimsy trade paperback, just like, and he had like this huge series of them. And it wasn't like you could pick up pretty much any book and just be in the story and fine. So I always loved those. As for ones that were like that made a real impact, Ayn Rand for me was like the big one. Atlas Shrugged and Anthem in particular were two of my absolute favorites. And then everything Poe and Lovecraft. I will still read Poe and Lovecraft. I love Lovecraft for how weird he is and just how descriptive, and I don't know. I always loved his writing. And then and Poe is just like it's dark and depressing. Like the guy, like he wasn't a happy dude.
No,
like he really wasn't.
Do it.
Nothing about him was happy. He was very troubled, but there was so much beauty in the way that actually came through, and just the way he turns his words and everything. As far as movies, man, oh geez, like I'm trying to think like that had a profound impact. I will say this. I want to pick out 2 movies for you. I saw The Matrix, the first one, in the theater. Yeah. And I remember exactly where I was walking out of the theater and just like mind blown to smithereens at what that was like, because it was just something so vastly different than I was used to. And the same thing happened with the South Park movie.
Oh, man. Because I got so much trouble for that movie.
Okay, so look. So I saw it in a theater. Right. And I go there and there were some people in the theater. I wouldn't say like not even half full, like a quarter full. Right. But some of these people, I'm like, they're with their kids. Like they just saw that this is an animated movie and their kids were just like, it's animated, it's going to be funny. Right. Yeah. And at that time, the show was just on I guess it was on Comedy Central, but there was no cursing in the show or anything like that. Well, they started let loose with that first song, and all of a sudden all these people are getting up and they're just storming out of the theater, and then it was just like there was just like 8 of us left and just like crying for, like in hysterics from some of the stuff that was on that movie. And I was like, just like those 2 guys have always nailed it in terms of they'll just make fun of everybody and it's totally cool.
Yeah.
And that's something that I absolutely love. And I try to work into my writing too. Like if I'm going to go ahead and like everybody's getting insulted, and I'm just going to call it fair. It's equality. Plus, like for me, like I don't care. Like you can make fun of me all day long. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like it's whatever. Like it's fine. And I miss those days where, you had friends, but like the best thing about having friends was just giving each other crap all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like that's good because you're cool. Like everything's good. Now everything is just so serious. It's really hard to do that. So I'm trying to take it back.
Yeah, definitely don't take it back.
Yep. So the Kickstarter is officially over. I think an email just came through. And that, as they say, was that. You did it. And blah, blah, blah. Yay. Okay.
43. That's
Good
a lot
job.
of people.
43 backers. I just want to take a quick look at the email and see what that was like. Your project has been successfully funded.
Yeah.
Yep. Ended up at that just over $2,000. Fist pump, laugh, dance, smile, all that stuff.
What was the original goal?
The original goal was $500.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So definitely did that one. And yeah, so that's good. Next is to start fulfilling this stuff and getting it out there and all those things.
Well, you know, you gotta write Pew Pew too.
I have to finish Pew Pew 2. Yep, Electric Pew Pew, that's going to be coming.
Yeah.
And all that. I like, honestly, man, I'm really excited to just continue it and get back into the story of the characters and all that. This is the kind of thing where it's just it's just going to kind of keep going.
Fun. Yeah.
You know, like these characters are always going to be in it. I have a set of new characters to introduce, which is going to be super fun. So as I got to thinking, I'll give you a little heads up, right? I got to thinking, how fun would it be to have like a colony somewhere on some planet where everybody there, just like, okay, so you know how like Amish people, they try to live like you would have lived like 100, 200 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how great would it be on a planet to have people trying to live the way we're living now, but like far in the future on some alien planet? So, you know, where like everybody, like they wear their sneakers and they mow the lawn and they get the paper, like, you know, like just like the idyllic sort of lifestyle. And then all of a sudden a spaceship lands with a bunch of people on there and like all hell's going to break loose. So like, I'm just going to have a wild time with this one. I think part of the fun of that is just like finding those characters and like the ones that'll put the main character in all sorts of trouble. I like, why else do we write other than to torture your main character to some degree?
See, that's why we write, to torture our characters.
Yeah. You have to.
He said it's rude.
Throw them into a bunch of uncomfortable situations.
Right. Michelle just mentioned, are you able to buy the merch for the book? That was what the Kickstarter was for. Was book merch. There might be some afterwards, but anything that was in the Kickstarter was pretty much Kickstarter specific for the backers and all of that. But yeah, there'll probably be some stuff around. I'll most likely still have some posters, t-shirts, things like that up in like a store somewhere or something along those lines. So yeah, and then I don't know about doing a Kickstarter for the second one.
For
I don't know, man. This has been like
so stressful
this
for
has
him.
been pretty stressful. Like, it's been a lot. I don't know if I'm quite up for that. You know, my hope is that like this one gets running, gets some traction. I would like to have 2 ready for LibertyCon. You know, so to be able to promote it there and then do a reading. All right, here's what's coming next. You know, the next chapter, because I had a blast in that reading room. You know, that was super fun. Philip, if you're still there, man, I really appreciated that our first read together and the second one, for sure. So yeah, I had a blast with it.
I'm
so
looking
that's
forward to somebody in my readings besides my wife. So that'll be an interesting one.
see that? I'm telling
They
you,
always
man.
give me the worst times. It's like all the cool stuff going on, and then
You gotta bribe people. That's how I did it. It's how I did it, and there's no shame at all.
People like free stuff.
They love the free stuff. Get
They
yourself
don't even care
some.
what it is. They just like free stuff.
These totally did the trick.
oh yeah,
Totally. And
The bookmarks help.
the bookmarks definitely helped. Yeah.
People were like, "This is
give me that
absurd.
book.
What is
Yeah.
it?"
I did a whole
This is the book I'm currently reading. And
what the hell did I just read? Nice.
And then this bookmark definitely did it for me.
Oh, nice. So you yeah, see that's
It's good.
But no, I ordered a bunch of stuff for Imaginarium this year, and it came the day after I got back home. And I was like, well, I guess I have a lot of stuff for LibertyCon next year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, reuse. Yeah, for sure. Look, those trading cards, like when I got them printed up, because all those cards were out of pocket for me, right? That was like, that's just an expense that I bore. And but I found that there wasn't that much of a difference just like in what you're paying the company to create a set of trading cards between getting 50 cards or 250 cards. It was like an extra $40.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, now I have 250 sets of trading cards. So like, it's fine because like they're good giveaways and stuff like that. It's something that like you can always use and reuse. We're going to have an option to do add-ons. I missed the t-shirts on my first pledge run. You're probably going to need to reach out to Hillbilly on that one because I really don't know. And he knows how that works. So I'm not really sure, but I do know that like, I want to have some, I definitely want to have shirts available in like in a merch store afterwards. So like shirts are going to be coming back and all that. It's all the other stuff with the covers because like that involves getting the correct amount of books printed and then the shipping and like back and forth. And I think if he orders them, he has to ship them to me so I can sign stuff so I can ship them back to him so we can ship them out to people. Like I'm not really sure how any of this is going to work, but like I'll figure it out. We're just going to, you know what? It's like the whole river. It's the whole river crossing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like now I'm just staring at a river full of crocodiles. I'm like, I don't know. Just tell me where to go.
There's a vine. Hang on it. Hope you're not too heavy.
Like Pitfall, right? Yeah, like Pitfall.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Pitfall. Yeah, it totally works, by the way. If you just jump on a crocodile's head, you can stand there for a while.
Oh, yeah. If they open their mouth at the right time.
yeah, I'm sure that'll work just great.
That was a big yawn.
That was a big yawn. So let's talk wrapping this up, man. And once again, just give your spiel and where people can find you and all that kind of stuff. Where's your website? Where can I find you?
Oh, kbcarlisle.com.
There you go.
That's still relatively new. I forgot I had it.
Yeah.
Find me on Facebook and Instagram right now. You can go to kbcarlisle.com. My books are available on Amazon. Not anymore. I don't think. But and if you live in the upstate of South Carolina, you can find them in a few little mom and pop comic book stores, you know.
Right.
But this is Book of Rose.
Yep.
Won the Imagine Award for Best Young Adult Novel this year. Dreams of Gemini is the sequel. And A Melody in the Mist, working title. Don't know if that's what's going to be, but it'll be out later this year, hopefully.
Aiming for 2024 on it, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
2024 on the third one for sure. Like if unless I go blind again, which hopefully, you know.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah. But you have a, yeah.
No, it'll definitely be out by the end of this year. You know,
Nice.
If everything goes according to plan.
Right.
Other than that, the only place you can find me is online until next year because I'm done with conventions this year, and you know, I'm pretty good about answering messages and stuff if people reach out, unless I'm at work. So I don't answer you immediately. It'll probably be about 8 hours.
Right. Yeah. So you do Facebook, you do where else?
Instagram.
Okay. Yep.
And there's a TikTok made. I haven't made any videos yet. It'll be there soon. But it's all KB Carlisle. So
nice.
And like I said, the website's live now too. There's not much to it, but it's there.
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. Well, look, I appreciate you being here and being on and all that kind of stuff. Nobody I would rather hang out with and close the Kickstarter with than chilling with a buddy of mine. So I appreciate it, man. It was good of you to jump on.
Me, man. It was fun.
Finishing up work and all that. Let's do this again. When it's not like a Kickstarter thing and we can really dig into some questions or some like goofy stuff. This is something I would like to do much more on my channel for sure. I want to be able to get some authors on here, and just more than anything, I'm really interested in digging into the creative process for everybody. That's something that's just like for me, like I really love to explore is just like what gets you motivated, what breaks those moments. I never call it writer's block because I don't believe writer's block exists.
No,
but
that's an excuse.
Yeah, but like what gets you past those, like the bad writing days, things like that. So I'm gonna have you back on here at some point, and we're gonna go through some of that stuff and have some fun. Maybe do like some round table or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, sounds great. And
Perfect.
People, if you get writer's block, that's just what I got to tell myself. It's an excuse. That way I can force myself to write if I feel like I got writer's block. But you know,
Yep. I started calling it plot block. Just like I just don't know where to go. Like I just don't know what direction.
Open up a new tab on my Scrivener and be like, let's just free write for a little while until this clears up.
Yeah, yep, I've done that one too for sure. Yeah, and process too. I don't do Scrivener. It didn't work for me. It was too much. But I've been trying out actually. Did you ever meet Dan, a word weaver?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he was at Imaginarium like in a corner, and he has an online thing that you can go on and like organize your story and your characters and like all sorts of stuff to like kind of like put it together in pieces and then write. So I'm trying to give that a go because I use Ulysses, which I really like. But I'm, I want to support my friends and the people that I've met. So I'm giving his a go. I really like it so far. So I might try putting Space Pew Pew 2 in there and see how it goes.
I actually took a Scrivener class at Imaginarium, and I was like, wow, I've been using this wrong for 2 years now.
See? Yeah,
so, like,
that probably would help.
Character sheets and, maps and, all kind of stuff. It's basically like I've learned how to create a D&D campaign on Scrivener, and I can use it to write a book. So
yeah, see, that works. Right. It's good. All right, man. Well, listen, thank you so much, and appreciate you. And yeah, can't wait to get some Space Pew Pew in your hands too.
Oh yeah, I can't either, man.
Yeah, it'll be happening sooner rather than later.
I'll know as soon as you send it. I don't know why I said that, but I'll let you know what I think as soon as I read it.
No, that works for me too. All right, man. We're gonna sign off. Have a good night. Thanks. Yep, I'll talk to you. Bye. Yep. Bye-bye. And thanks everyone and anyone who is still hanging out and watching and has shown up and joined me for the end of the Kickstarter. I appreciate you very, very much. Woo, we're all done. Now I have to do stuff like write and record an audiobook. So that's going to be awesome. No more excuses. All right. So that's it for me. And thank you. And I'm going to be back on here doing some more streaming at some point after a little bit of a break. That's all. Just like I need a few days and I'll be good. All right. So that's it. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
All the links in the chat.
All the links are in the chat
for his website.
If you need stuff for KB's
linked, it should be.
I'm like all over the place. Yeah, like you should know where I am by now. Like I'm all over the place, and it's all good. All right, so yeah, that's it. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.